What's going on, everybody? How the heck are you? Thanks for stopping into this video. I am super excited because today I have the honor of reviewing an incredible amp from a friend of mine. His name is Kevin Shaw at Shaw Audio. The amp is called the D-Gas. The D standing for D-Style, or referencing that type of amp. If you aren't familiar with D-Style amps, D stands for Dumble, which comes from a guy named Howard Dumble, who started making amps in the late 60s, early 70s. And if you aren't familiar with Howard Dumble or the Dumble story or how he got started making amps, I'm actually going to link a separate video in the description so you can watch that. If you're a guitar player, I think it's worth a watch. It will help you as you're testing out amps and different pedals in the future, and it'll kind of just help shape your opinion and help you get to that tone that you're looking for faster. So be sure to check that out. So the amp behind me right here that I'm going to be testing out for you today is the Shaw Audio D-Gas. D, again, referencing that D-Style amplifier, and then D-Gas is a whole kind of a head nod to Kevin's love of drag racing. It's kind of a fuse between his hobbies and his love of building amps, and so I thought that was super cool. The amp is all tube. It's 50 watts. It's got two 6L6 power tubes in the front, and the tone is fed by three 12AX7s. I texted Kevin as soon as I started testing it out a few weeks ago, and I was like, look, man, this amp is everything that I've been looking for in a guitar amp. So a little bit about me and my music preference and things that I play. I'm really involved in church, so worship guitar is a big part of what I do. But I also have been really heavily influenced as a guitar player from the blues greats. You know I don't have to say it, but I'm going to say it. So John Mayer, Stevie Ray Vaughan, Jimi Hendrix, B.B. King, Buddy Guy, like all of the greats. So when Kevin first told me that he was making a D-Style amplifier and that he wanted me to do a review on it, I kind of freaked a little bit because I've never played anything remotely close to this. You know, this is referencing one of the greatest amplifiers, amp makers in guitar history. So I do feel a little underqualified to be doing this, but be kind in the comments if you don't mind. So I am super, super excited to get into this. Without further ado, let's get into this amp. Okay, so the first thing that we have here is the volume control. This will adjust the second tube stage after the tone controls. So this will also adjust or affect the drive channel, which we'll get into that in a second here. To our right here is this bright switch. There's two available bright switch contours, and the center position is off. So the top, I believe, is more bright. The bottom, I believe, is less bright. Then we have a rock and jazz switch right here. This will change the overall EQ range of the tone controls. This is basically readjusting the amp controls when changing the switch. And I'll play with that a little bit so you can kind of get a feel for it. But basically, it's like having two different amps. So the rock setting, it'll let you channel in the kind of a black panel British rock voice, while the jazz setting allows kind of an even cleaner tone set right there. So moving on, we've got the treble, the middle, the bass. So just like typical, this will roll off your highs, this will adjust your mid-range level, and then the bass rolls off bass frequencies. The drive simply adjusts the amount of drive that you're getting in the amp. So moving on to the range right here, the range is kind of unique because you could have your drive set all the way up, but not be tapped in on your range that you're using. So your drive could be blazing, but this is basically kind of a blend between the drive and between the regular signal of your amp, which is before that drive stage right there, which I thought was pretty cool. But basically this level is used to adjust the balance between clean and drive on the amp. So it works kind of in conjunction with the master, and then the master obviously will set the overall volume of the amp. And then presence, all the way over here on the right, it's used to adjust the overall high frequency response of the amp. So, you know, you think presence, you think highs, you think breathe, you think, you know, breath. That's basically what that's for. It kind of just gives it a little extra breath in the amp. So we'll move to the back of the amp and we'll give that a look. Okay, so first we've got our power and our standby switch, pretty typical, and then a foot switch out. And that foot switch actually controls the drive and boost section via a detachable TRS cable, which also powers the LEDs, which I thought was cool. Then we've got our independent drive and boost switches. We've got our 16, 8, and 4 ohm outs for added flexibility. And then lastly, we have our effects loop, which is bypassable. So all around, just a really beautifully designed amplifier. I think one of my favorite aesthetic features is that cutout that shows the illumination of the tubes. It's really just highlights the quality and intentionality of Kevin's design here. So this is the D-Gas. All right, so now I'm gonna play a little bit and move pretty quickly through the options that we just talked about. So here we go. Turn on the bright switch. Bright switch is off, so rock mode. I'm just gonna play regular, and I'll switch to the jazz. Jazz. All right, moving through, treble. So your mid's cranked. All right, let's crank the bass. Okay, I'm gonna engage the drive here. The range of 5 and drive is cranked. So we're gonna go ahead and boost and run with that. So here's clean signal. Here is drive at 10, again, kind of bordering on that fuzz, only at the range level 5. So here we go. All right, moving on to the level dial here, which basically is for helping bridge or blend the volume levels of the drive channel and the clean channel here. So here we go. Engaged. That level up just a little bit, so it's going to take the drive channel and put it up. Here we go. Okay, gonna bring that drive level back down. All right, and last but not least, the presence knob. Here we go. Just gonna play. So first impression of this amp is that it's so quiet, other than the hum that my guitar brings in, and you'll hear that. So just for a quick gear rundown, I am playing through a 2012 Fender Custom Shop Pro. I'm playing out into a black coily cable from GLS Audio into the input of this amp. So out of the effects loop, I go into my pedal board, which starts at the Ego 76 Wampler compressor. I go out of that into my Tapestry audio volume pedal. Out of that, I go into a fuzz made in Greece by a company called Bad Pixel. Then I hit my Micropog. I go out of that into my Keeley Noble Screamer, that out of the Sick As Bondi Effects, that into the Keeley Katana, that into my Eventide Space, and out of the Eventide Space into the TC Electronic Nova Delay, back into the effects loop. So I'm going to start out playing some clean tones. I'll throw some reverb, some light reverb on, and then I'll go into kind of a drive demo. So here we go. Okay, so that is the Shaw Audio D-Gas. If you want one of these amps, go to the link below, shawaudio.com. Head over to his product section, click on the D-Gas. If you have questions, feel free to send Kevin a message. He is super down to earth. He'll get back with you. If you live in the Nashville area too, and you need amp repairs or anything like that, or you need amps, you need to consider Shaw Audio. No doubt about it. If you have questions or comments or suggestions about things that you'd like me to cover in the future or ways to make these videos better, please comment in the comment section. I love reading those. I will reply. Just let's go on the journey together. Again, thanks for watching, and we will see you next time.